Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Moss Nissan in Newport Richey, Florida. And guess what? We have one of those SUVs that Nissan is doing a little bit of a refresh and a change up. This is a 2021 Nissan Armada. This particular one is an SV trim. But before we get into this large size luxury style SUV, let's talk about what's going on here. Nissan, they've made a declaration, a proclamation that they're going through their lineup of vehicles and either redesigning them totally or refreshing them and updating them. Now, the Armada has been in their lineup for many years, and it's that large SUV. If you're looking for Nissan's largest SUV that they sell in the United States, this is it behind me. Now, some of the changes are going to be on the outside, some of the changes under the hood, and some of the big changes, as big as this SUV is, are going to be happening to the interior. Is Nissan on a comeback, and is this Armada, which technically this Armada is the first Nissan in the United States to have the updated logo and branding of this iconic Japanese brand, is this the one to get? Or should you be going maybe over to the premium sister brand Infiniti and getting a QX80? Let's go ahead, let's find out and see, is this the full-size luxury SUV you should be buying and driving? Let's find out. Right off the bat, the new changes are right at the front of the business. So you're gonna get all new updated headlights and front fascias. So you can see the LED daytime running lamps. Love the style. LED headlights, the way they blacked out the interior, even the way they did some nice design in there. They could have kept it smooth. I'm glad that they carried the styling, and that's something that they're really focusing and concentrating on. Instead of making these really bland jelly bean style SUVs, give it some aggressive style. And I think they hit the nail on the head, especially the way they wrap that upper housing around the side where the fender kind of meets the front fascia. Now, as we drop down, all new. This is all new styling. You're gonna get your LED fog lamps down below. No really fake vent. This is more of a styling exercise, and there's nothing to zonk right now, which is great. I love the way they brought some chrome finish, this being an SV trim. Remember, we featured the platinum. That's the top trim. This one is gonna fall right into the sweet spot. So really, does this give you the bang for the buck when we're looking at these large luxury style SUVs? You have some metallic gray that starts on the lower corner and then is gonna come in front of where the grille is. And as we kind of coast over, this is where you're gonna find more of the changes for 2021. So we have an upgraded, updated V-motion grille. You can see the V that is that chrome outline there. Fully functional up top, some gloss black. There's that new Nissan badge, looking slick, looking great, especially on our white Armada. We drop down, you have flat black, fully functional, which is nice to bring all that air in, because remember, we have V8 power, and you can see how they did like a simulated skid plate, give it that overall aggressive look. Now, the great news is you could have your Armada two-wheel drive or four-wheel drive. This one is a two-wheel drive example, but we get up onto the new hood. Love the way it kind of has a nice slight bend crease, meets with the grille, and then you're gonna have simple body lines, nothing too, too many folds, too many edges, except for what's happening with the headlights. It really kind of makes it look more futuristic than what the outgoing version from 2020 looks like. Now, as we come around the bend, when it goes with SV, here's your style of wheel that you're getting. So you're getting a nice machine aluminum. I like the gunmetal gray finish all the way around, multi-spoke wheel, 20-inch wheel. So you're not having to settle for a 19-inch or an 18-inch. You're getting a 20-inch wheel, 275 on the width, and a nice meaty 60 series sidewall. Plenty of space between the top of the tire inside the fender. And what I like about the fender, the flare is actually color match painted instead of flat black like you see on some of the competition. Coming into the fender, you do have some functional vent on the side, which is great. The chrome is a little heavy. It would have been interesting to see if they would have went with black darked out chrome rather than the shiny stuff, but still with the white, it's looking classy because it's a nice bright white. You have your V8 badge, naturally aspirated power. The days are coming to an end where you're gonna be able to get a V8. So if this is something that you want, this might be that SUV that you want to park in your driveway. But you have white up top, color match, a little bit of gloss black, the older style turn signals. I wish they would have went LED with these, so I am gonna zonk that. But still nice to have those turn signals mounted up high. for visual reference for other drivers. You're gonna have chrome trim on the bottom and the top. I've always liked the nice flat roof that these Armadas have. It helps with the overall rugged style of it. Chrome on the door handles, gloss black in the center, and I like the way the trim up here stays up top. It doesn't drop down and actually run the whole length of the side glass. It just stays on that top portion and then wraps around back to the front. Chrome, like I said, on the door handles, you have your standard stationary floorboards, which are great. I think especially for kids to get into this SUV, it helps out. You have these nice rugged roof rails. They're rated for about 200 pounds that you could put up top, go on that family trip, go on that little getaway, and you could get a cargo basket, mountain bikes, whatever you want to throw up there. I like the way they went gunmetal gray rather than bright shiny metal. That was a nice touch. Coming towards the rear, everything else is going to be the same from the side basically as your 2020 model, but except for those wheels. Come out back, you have a nice stubby roof spoiler. It does have the wiper. It's still there. They haven't redesigned it, so I'm only going to be a half zonk. Hopefully on the redesign they take this and tuck it up. I do like the way the trim comes all the way across there. The Armada badge, very powerful, very bold with the Nissan badge. Great job on the LED taillights, and as we drop down, of course, you're going to still have your towing capability. Everything is hidden behind the lower bumper area on that nice metallic gray. Tons of ground clearance. You're looking at well over 8 inches of ground clearance, plus the exhaust, it's tucked up nicely so it's not going to dangle down and drag anything. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see what's powering our Armada. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have hydraulic hood struts. Underneath that hood, I do like the engine cover. It's got the V8 badge on it, that Nissan logo. What are we exactly looking at? You're looking at that 5.6 liter naturally aspirated V8, best in class power. So you're looking at 400 horsepower, 413 pound-feet of torque. Like I said, rear wheel drive, which is what ours is, or 4-wheel drive. It is mated to a 7-speed automatic transmission, 0 to 60 in 5.8 seconds, if you could believe that. And what's great is you're going to be able to tow a class-leading 8,500 pounds, best in class. The 4-wheel drive does have a limited slip diff, the 2-speed transfer case, 2-wheel drive MPGs, 14 in the city, 19 on the highway. And I guess one big piece of news that isn't under the hood related is that this vehicle has 9 cup holders for your thirsty passengers. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire up this V8 and hear what kind of sound it makes. All right, guys, we're inside the largest Nissan at Moss Nissan and pretty much any other Nissan dealership, this 2021 Armada SV trim. So remember, SL, SV, Platinum. Now, I know you're probably saying, well, Joe, I've been wanting a larger SUV. I'm sick and tired of hearing about turbocharged V6s or hybrid setups. I want some naturally aspirated V8 power, and this one has it. How much is this? So the way that this one is spec'd out is right around $57,000. Let's see what you get for the money. To the door panels. Now, this one has a beige white combo setup, white on the exterior, beige on the interior. Not my favorite, but it is nice leather. If you're wondering what's that rippling effect, is that the leather going bad or something? No, that is actually a style of putting the leather on the door panel. Not my favorite. I am gonna zonk it. If it was smooth, it would look a million times better. I do like the stitching though, and I also like that gray finish up top near the top of the door panel because it's not gloss black. It's like a textured metallic gray. The armrest is super soft though, probably one of the softest in the business. Even leather on the door handle pull there, which is great. Decent size on the door pocket. You could get your Subway meatball sub in there with extra parm, and you could get a bottle of Mr. Pibb to wash it all down. Going from the door panel to the dash, you have a little bit of a two-step process here. First of all, the dash is very far forward. Second of all, soft touch. There's more of that textured metallic gray finish. I'm actually liking it way better than just gloss black. And then look at the stitching. Look at the way it extends off. And then, are you ready for it? Because I'm ready for it. Here is your all-new infotainment system. That's over 12 inches, 12.3 inches of visual pleasure. This is all new for 2021. And you're going to get your navigation, your Apple CarPlay, your Android Auto. You want to extend? Boom. There's 12 inches extended. Nice setup, super clean. Throw it into reverse. Not the best of backup cameras. I also would like it to take up all 12 inches. I know that I need to check surroundings for safety. I've been told that ever since I was 6. So nice to get rid of that and just have a full screen, but we put it back in the park and there we are. I do like the way it's mounted. It actually flows nicely and it's good visibility without blocking the windshield. A little bit of gloss black, clean on the AC vents. You are going to get dual climate control, obviously be able to control the rear as well. Heated seats, but no ventilated seats. If you go platinum, you do get ventilated. I'm going to zonk it because it should be in here for $57,000. If I'm spending $57,000, I want my backside cooled. So would be nice to have the ventilated. I do like the way they did this for 2021 with the Armada name, that metallic gray finish. Watch this. Open sesame, wireless charging and a 12 volt. It's almost like a little microwave. You could kind of cook your phone in there and let it charge. You do have a USB-C, a USB, that trailering release control, which is nice. You got your different mode buttons, your tow mode, snow, and shut the traction control off. This is going to control that automatic transmission with the nice shift boot. I like the stitching. There's more of that metal. See how it hides the fingerprints? It's really, really smart design. Open that up. You got your 2 cup holders, and you got the same key fob that Noah used on his Arc. So it is the dated key fob. You do have the upgraded logo. I guess the good news is that it's super small. So you can put it in your jean pocket and it's not going to poke you in the family jewels and then not allow you to have kids ever again. So that's the good news, is that it's light and it's on the smaller side. Close that up. You have your directory drive control knob to control your infotainment. I like the silver here. Just a little bit of gloss black, nothing too crazy. Once again, I think Nissan probably contracts Charmin to make these armrests because it's super soft. Open this bad boy up. Watch this. Boom. You got yourself your Planters peanut party tray. I would not put honey roasted in here. You're going to get salt all over the place. So probably go just salt free on the nuts. And then if you need to, you could easily put, I would say, 1 box of Twinkies in there. Maybe 2. Just don't push it because you don't want to get cream all over this beautiful interior. I'm going to put this back like that. Close that up. Seats. You know, they're really large, so they're going to keep you comfortable. They're just not the sexiest of seats. I do like the piping on the side, and they're full electric assist for the passenger and the driver. SV trim does not get a sunroof whatsoever, but you do get plenty of headroom that you can literally fit the sun in here, and it won't touch the headliner. But why don't you come over here to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel of this Armada. All right, guys, business time. You do have your seat controls, that lower lumbar, which is really, really nice. Nice to have the lower lumbar on this seat. And these seats are comfy. They're just, I don't know, they look more like lazy boy chairs, but hey, if you're going for a long family trip, I'm sure you will feel a lot better sitting in these for sure. Now, steering wheel, still nice leather. I like the baseball style stitching all the way around. It's a nice contrast. There's that new Nissan badge. The switch gear is a little dated, but the good news is it makes sense and it's easy to use, and it's flat black on the buttons. Dash, it's a mixture. So they give you the 7-inch digital display, but you still have an analog tach, analog speedometer, fuel, and coolant. I actually prefer this setup. I think that it's great to have that information analog with the digital, and you can see the plethora, the cornucopia of all the information. You got your lane keep assist, blind spot monitoring, all that 360 protection that Nissan wants to bring you like a shield. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to the mid-row and see how your passengers are going to enjoy this Armada. All right, guys, here we are in the mid-row, and that nice, tall, boxy roof line really gives you tons of room in here. You got the AC vents up top. It would have been nice to have AC vents down below to kind of give you the full cool factor, but the good news is that nice leather material all the way around. You got large pockets back here, so you could easily put a back scratcher, maybe put a Simon Says. That's fun on a long family trip, unless the noise starts to get to you. But anyways, you got plenty of room in those pockets. You do have your rear AC controls. Easy to get to. It's a little dated, but you know what? It's for the kids in the mid-row. They don't need the latest technology. Hit this though, look what they got, their Dorito tray. So you could put Cool Ranch and you could put original or vice versa. There's a little bit of a shelf style there, close that up. 12 volts all the way on the bottom, a USB-C and a USB. So they are gonna be connected with their devices. Seats feel great. Obviously, you know, when it comes to overall style, same thing as up front. And then you're gonna get an armrest. What's funny is this armrest is harder than the ones up front, which is usually not the case, but you have your 2 cup holders. Flip it back, let's get to that 3rd row and see how a big Joe Rady could fit back. All right guys, we're inside the back. Watch this, the fastest folding seats in the whole auto industry. Bam, look at that. Lori had to stand back for a second. I didn't want it to take her out, but here's the challenge. I got okay headroom. I do have AC vents, but you can see where my knees are. These seats do not slide forward at all, so this is it. See this little these white hooks here? That's where it locks in and that's where it stays. So hopefully either somebody's paying you a lot of money to sit back here, or you just happen to have some smaller people, maybe your kids, have them suck it up back here in this back seat, but there's no connectivity. I do have the AC vents and I do have 2 cup holders. So that's good, but there's no tray for any kind of snacks back here. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to the cargo area and see what kind of stuff we could haul in our Armada. All right guys, time to open up that rear cargo area. Real simple, you're just gonna hit right by the M. It's a little on the slow side, but you know what? It is electric assist. And the nice thing is you're gonna have a super wide, super tall area. Now, this one is spec'd out with those all-weather Nissan Armada cargo liners and mats. That really is gonna help protect that nice carpet area. But what are we looking at? With the 3rd row up, you're looking at 17 cubic feet of space. If you fold all the rows down, you're looking at 156 cubic feet of space, which is phenomenal. You do have a 12 volt on the driver's side, which is great. And then to put the seats down, it's real simple. You're just gonna pull and push. Pull and push. Semi-flat, it's almost totally flat. That mid-row obviously will drop down and give you that over 156 cubic feet of space. You do have cup holders and those AC vents back there, but no USBs. So just like earlier, zonking it again. We're gonna do a double zonk because I can't stand seeing 3rd row without USBs. But why don't we go ahead, push that button. If you're ready, I'm ready. I hear some V8 power. We got some V8 power. Let's go on throttle in the Armada. In the 2021 Nissan Armada, we're leaving Moss Nissan, and right away, the changes they made to the interior are really that significant, especially when you compare it to last year. And to be honest with you, it feels more in alignment with Infiniti and the QX80, which remember the QX80, we featured some trims on here. You're looking at $70,000, $80,000, $90,000. And here we are at $57,000 in this Armada. Visibility is great. The side mirrors work phenomenal. Getting to the infotainment system is so easy, and it's very, very easy to use as well. You have your Apple CarPlay, your Android Auto, and you have your dual climate control settings, which is wonderful too. I also forgot to mention that this does have electric tilt and telescoping steering wheel in this SV trim. So you're getting a nice blending of lots of options. The one that's really missing for me is the ventilated seats. It needs the ventilated seats. But driving down the road, super smooth. They've upped their game with the thickness of the glass, sound deadening material that really allows it to be a much nicer driving experience for sure compared to the previous model year, and helps with that overall luxury side of things. All right, guys, let's do a little bit of on throttle from a slow roll. On throttle, here we go. Very, very efficient in acceleration for a vehicle that weighs as much as this one does. And this one is a little bit quicker because it is just rear-wheel drive rather than four-wheel drive. It has a nice linear torque delivery, and you're not waiting for that transmission to drop down whatsoever. It just gets you off and running really, really quickly and very smoothly. The shifts are super smooth. Getting to everything makes sense, and the amount of space, I'm gonna keep saying it over and over again, is just incredible. Even up front, with the way the center console is designed and everything. A lot of room in here. I think one of the things I like about this Armada is just how easy it is to drive, especially in high traffic situations. Even though it's a large SUV, it doesn't feel that large while you're driving it. It allows you to feel comfortable, keep it in your lane, and not really worry too much about navigating through tight spots. Especially when you look at some of the larger SUVs like the Tahoe or the Suburban. This one really has a little bit smaller feel to it, but suspension is well done in here. It soaks up all the bumps very, very well. Brakes feel good. And even with the 20-inch wheels, the ride quality is not really diminished much in this Armada. It's actually still very, very smooth and, you know, sucks up the bumps very nicely. But even going down this tight road here, I feel very confident. I love the amount of visibility that I have facing forward, and going over all the bumps and divots, it just soaks everything up very, very nice. All right, guys, let's accelerate once again. On throttle, here we go. Look at that, the nose points for the sky and you are off. That 7-speed is very proficient at shifting. It drops down very quickly, gets you off and running, and then going through the gears, very, very smooth. I like the amount of rumble that I'm getting from the V8. It's not too obnoxious, but you know that you have a V8 underneath the hood of this Armada, and I think that's a really good selling point for it. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and make our way back to Moss Nissan. So hopefully this gave you a nice overall feel of what this Armada is about. On throttle, let's get that Jeep Wrangler. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. But we're gonna get back to Moss Nissan and wrap this one up, so I'll see you in a split second. Guys, it's been another great day here at Moss Nissan. Of course, I need to thank Dave Moss, David Moss Sr., Christian, and the rest of the crew getting us access to this 2021 Armada. It clearly shows the direction that Nissan is going in. They're not giving up, they're not giving in, they're making the changes, and the great news is it's gonna spill into their other vehicles in their lineup and some new vehicles on the way. If you're comparing this to the more luxurious QX80, you might wanna save yourself a few dollars and actually go the Armada route, because you're still getting so much at a way lower price point. Plus, if you're looking at the competition, there's not a lot of SUVs like this style with that V8 engine. But if you want to keep seeing large SUVs here on Rady's Rides, the luxurious SUVs, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you, 2 ways to do it. Click the first link, get yourself some Rady's Rides merch. Click the second link, become a Rady's Rides Patreon member. Got to give it up to Lori, holding it down, fighting the crowds, fighting the weather, but you know what? She's not fighting the camera. Everything just moves so smoothly. Show her some love in the comment section, and just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.